Now, you may think we're passive. To the contrary, we believe in direct action. We are doers, enterprisers, thinkers, but most of all, we're businessmen. Our aim is to drop Mr. You-Know-Who out of Harlem.
Well, who's Mr. You-Know-Who? The white man, Pop. Damn.
Oh, him. Okay.
We like to use that name for our members in order to get away from the bad feelings we have whenever we use the word white. We want our members to always be objective. And in this way, we shall move forward. Before we get through, there won't be a single Mr. You-Know-Who left in this part of town. We're going to capture the imagination of the people of Harlem. And that's never been done before, you know.
Okay.
Welcome to Inside New York. We are at the theater of St. Clements Church, one of the oldest theaters in New York City, and they are presenting on stage the 1969 masterpiece by Lonne Elder III, entitled Ceremonies in Dark Old Men, which was first presented by the Negro Ensemble Company, and it almost won a Pulitzer Prize, but it swept all the other off-Broadway awards.
I'm getting old. I'm gonna get me some money and I'm gonna spend it. I'm gonna get drunk and I'm gonna dance some more. I'm getting old. And I wanna fall in love one more time before I die.
We are honored and delighted to have back on the show one of our favorite stars. He is a Tony, Grammy, Emmy, SAG Award nominee of the stage and screen, and he is performing the lead in this iconic play, Ceremonies in Dark Old Men. We welcome back on Inside New York, Norm Lewis. It's not every day that I can sit on stage.
What's your name?
Hi, this is Norm Lewis, and I'm on Inside New York. We're doing Ceremonies in Dark Old Men at the theater at St. Clements on 46th Street. Come see us.
So, as I mentioned earlier, we are at the theater of St. Clements Church, one of the oldest churches in New York City, and it is here that the revival of the 1969 masterpiece by Lonne Elder III is being presented, and that is the Ceremonies of Dark Old Men, and we have the lead right here on stage to talk about it and why he decided to accept this role, because everyone knows he is a big star of Broadway musicals and TV, film, and concerts, and this is a very small, intimate, off-Broadway theater. So we wanted to make sure that we let everyone know that they could come and see this amazing star and this iconic production, originally presented by the Negro Ensemble Company. So my first question,
Yes.
Norm, is why being the big Broadway star and why you would choose to be in this play that a lot of people have not even heard of, and in an off-Broadway production. So why?
Well, I'm excited, first of all, for you calling me a star. I appreciate that. Secondly, secondly, this was, the lineage. The Negro Ensemble first produced this 40 some odd years ago, and just knowing that was just enticing in itself. Secondly, knowing the lineage of people and the legacy of people who've been in this, Billy D. Williams and Denzel Washington, Lawrence Fishburne, Keith David. I just wanted to be a part of it, and knowing that these talented men I've always looked up to, and now a lot of them are my friends. I'm glad to know that I'm doing something that they've done. Secondly, I've never worked here at the theater at St. Clements, and I've always heard about the successful shows they've had here. So I thought, why don't I give it a chance? And doing a play. I'm known for musical theater, like you said. And this is only my third play since I've been in New York, 30 some odd years now. And so to jump at that chance, I was eager. And this is such a great play. It was nominated for a Pulitzer, and yeah, when
And won, it seems like, almost every other off-Broadway
Right.
award.
Right, yeah. So I mean, you know, just to be a part of this legacy was important for me.
Now let's dig into the storyline itself. We should say that this takes place in the 50s in Harlem.
1956, yeah.
Exactly. So, as an African American male, what resonated with you most in terms of the character and the storyline?
I think the fact that I, obviously being black and having family of that time period and knowing the struggles they went through, I wanted to celebrate that and honor that. Also, Harlem being the Renaissance that it was, or is still, but especially at that time, and knowing that this was like right at the cusp of the Black Panther movement and people protesting and things like that. I figured that this would be kind of my voice in this time of trouble that we're having right now in 2025. And we have so many people who come from different backgrounds to see this show, and they get the message. Even though it's told through African American eyes, it's still the cultural landscape, people can relate to it. They have an uncle or a sister or brother or cousin that is in kind of the same boat. It's a family drama. There's some comedy in it, but it is a family drama. And even though it's a lot of biting and teasing and things like that within the storyline, there's the love that undercurrent of love is permeating throughout the whole thing.
Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about your character and the storyline?
Well, Russell Parker, that's my character. I'm the dad. I used to be a vaudevillian. I used to be a vaudevillian dancer, and my legs kind of gave out on me. So I'm married. I have 3 kids. My wife has just passed. We kind of chose the date of like 2 years ago that she passed away, so it's still pretty fresh. Within my transition from being a vaudevillian, I've decided to become a barber. Not a successful barber, but a barber nonetheless. Hence, that's why we're here in the barbershop. My wife was taking care of me. You know, she was the worker bee in the family and kept the glue. She was the glue in this family and keeping it together. And she ended up becoming sick. My daughter comes home from college and decides to help out and helps my wife with the transition. But in that, she takes over the matriarchal role, and now she's working. And I guess I got comfortable with that. So she's the one that's doing all of the heavy lifting, where the 2 boys and the dad are still trying to find themselves. And it's that struggle of that time period of masculinity and knowing who's the leader of the house and all that kind of stuff, and being prideful and all that. So it's hard to describe in like elevator pitch.
Yes.
But it's a family drama, and it's very dense and deep, but I think people can definitely relate to it, and I'm just excited of the audiences that we've had.
Yes.
But to be in this particular play, I have to say, getting back to the storyline, it's so wonderful to work with Clinton Davis, who was our director, because he gave us such insight into what a lot of the things meant in the text. We had no idea. They kept referring to the moving of carts downtown, and we didn't know what that meant. And what he described to us it was about, in that time period, there were people who would get these low-level jobs of moving carts around of clothing in the fashion district, and it was like, oh, okay, now we understand what we're saying. And also reading and really expounding on now I'm forgetting names, Lonnie Anderson III's text. It's so beautiful because it's very poetic. It's very close to the way we speak and colloquialisms and things like that, but then there's little twists and turns that make you go, oh, okay, all right, I like that. It's very musical. It's almost like Shakespeare. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's important to mention, particularly as I noticed on Broadway this year, after COVID, where we had this plethora of Black shows on Broadway, not just Black shows, but shows in particular by Black playwrights.
Right.
This year, I believe there's only one, even though we do have these phenomenal stars in Broadway shows. I think some people might be disappointed that they're not seeing these black stories by black playwrights. Why is that so important for their stories to be told in theater?
Well, I had never heard of this play before, which is kind of a, I don't want to say tragedy, but it was surprising. And so to bring this to the forefront, it's been like wonderful, because a lot of people I've talked to about it said, "Oh yeah, we studied this in college," or "I did this show back in whatever town they were living in." So it's important to bring those things out. I mean, there's a lot of revivals of other shows, so why not go back into the Culvers or Calvers or Caves or whatever to try to bring this to the forefront and do more of these kinds of things.
What do you hope people come away with and seeing this production?
Well, I mean, the show itself,
Outside of seeing you, of course.
this entire cast is fantastic, and Ceremonies and Dark Old Men is just a great production, and I think people can dig deeper into Lonne Elder III's work and do more black theater. That's it.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We look forward to
Yeah.
seeing much more.
Absolutely.
Much
And
more.
here we go.
And this is the playbill that you'll get.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll be lucky enough, as I am now, to have it signed.
Thank you. Come and see us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us for this special behind-the-scenes look of Ceremonies in Dark Old Men. And you can see more of our interview with Norm Lewis on one of our upcoming programs. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the bell so you receive an alert when it's available on demand. And we'll see you again next week on Inside New York.